Hi, Stitchy friends. This is Heather, the 20-minute Stitcher. My pronouns are she, her, and you have found my little corner of the internet where I talk about my hobby of cross stitch. Welcome to my FlossTube channel. If you are new here, thank you for clicking play. I hope you'll like what you see, that you will click subscribe and like the video and do all the YouTube things that we do to support each other here. If you are a returning viewer, thank you as always for clicking play. Today is Wednesday, July 23rd, and I'm kind of not on my usual schedule this summer. It's been a bit of a bonkers schedule for me, or summer for me. And today's going to be a pretty short video. I have not done much stitching since StitchCon. My last video was my StitchCon stitching recap. I filmed it sort of right before I took off for a 2-week vacation to Europe to celebrate my daughter's high school graduation, is what she wanted as her grad gift. And since getting back, we have been in grad party planning mode and getting ready for college mode. Work has been super busy. I'm getting ready for one of my busiest times of the year at work. So there has not been a lot of stitching happening. But I do have a couple of projects to share, a couple of acquisitions, and hopefully it's less than a month till I move my daughter in. So hopefully I'll get back to my regular monthly posting schedule here fairly soon. But one of the great things about this community is we all seem to be pretty understanding of the fact that this is a hobby for us. Most of us are not making income off of our FlossTube channels. We're here because we love to share our hobby and our craft and connect with each other through our enjoyment of our hobby. So that's kind of just a quick recap of where I've been. I'll share more about personal life after the stitching. But for now, let's get into the stitching. Like I mentioned, I have not been stitching much. I haven't even been keeping up with my Notion. I've sort of just been stitching and not tracking it. So I don't even have that to share this time. I don't have any statistics or anything like that. But I do have 2 projects that I've worked on. The first one, I thought maybe I was going to have a finish. I was stitching on this as part of the Tour de France event in Whip Warriors, the closed Facebook group. And I was getting, so basically you did sort of the number of kilometers of the day times 10. So if that leg of the Tour de France was 18 kilometers, you stitched 180 stitches. In sort of the 24 hours following the conclusion of the leg. I thought this one is so close to a finish. I am less than 200 stitches away from having a finish on this. This is Cozy Christmas Cat by the Blue Flower. I am stitching this with my own floss conversion. I stayed with the original colors, or at least sort of the original color palette of the chart, but sort of just picked colors from my own stash. They're a mix of silks and cottons. And this is just on an even weave that I have had in my stash for years. This might be actually the last piece of it, but here he is. He is almost done. I just have the dark red berries on the bottom half of the border to complete. There is like a white or a cream that goes, sort of one dot in each of the little berries. And I think that's it. I mean, seriously, it might even, I know it's less than 200 stitches. It might even be closer to 100 and something stitches left. So, or closer to 100 stitches left. So hopefully by the next time I film, Cozy Christmas Cat will be done. And that will be, I think, my 7th or 8th finish of the year. Yeah, here's the finished chart. So that was project number 1 that I spent most of my stitchy time working on. And then my second project is Spell of the Moon by Blackbird Designs. Sorry, of course, the picture of the chart is all the way in the bottom of my little pencil pouch that I'm using as my project bag. So here is the chart, Spell of the Moon by Blackbird Designs. Sorry, it's a little tilted to avoid the glare. And this is the project that I took with me on our trip to Europe. It's on Ada, it's super easy, it's in this small little bag, so it was super easy to pack and take with me. I really thought sort of in the evenings that I would stitch more. I stitched during a long layover in the airport, and I stitched for like probably literally 20 minutes one night in the hotel. But here is where this project is now. So I have, since the last time I shared this, I completed the top border and started running down the side here on this side, and I added sort of this leaf here. So I added probably about maybe 200 stitches to this since the last time I shared it. This is being stitched on just a hand-dyed Aida that my friend Nessa dyed, so it is a one-of-a-kind gift. And again, stitching with sort of my own flosses pulled from stash, but keeping with Blackbird Designs' original palette. So that is all of the stitching I have done since the last time I filmed. I do have a few acquisitions, one of them new since my last video, and some of them actually I acquired like 2 months ago and keep forgetting to share. So I went to my local LNS recently, a couple months ago. I shared the chart that I bought there, but I didn't share the fabric that I bought. So my local LNS, like many LNSs, has bins of remnant fabrics, right? So when they have sort of cut their yards down enough and they kind of have odd remnant sizes left, they will just kind of put them in little baggies and put them in bins organized by thread count size. So I was at the LNS with my mom. She was sort of still looking for things, and so I started nosing through the remnants bin. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I ended up getting an 18 count in dragon dust, which it's just sort of very lightly modeled. It's really pretty. I think it's a nice neutral. So I'm excited for that. And then I got this, I don't know what I'm going to stitch on it, but it's a printed fabric. Also, this is in a 28 count. I don't know who the dyer is on either of these fabrics, but this is called Cracked White Pine. So it's printed to look like, I think it looks more like birch, but either way, it's got sort of the wood grain printed on it. So that could be really fun for sort of a rustic kind of, I don't know, a fun sampler or something outdoorsy. Maybe one of my other kind of outdoorsy, smaller blue flower projects or something like that might be fun. So those are two fabrics that I acquired, like I said, a couple months ago at this point, and then never shared. And then my last acquisition, those of you who are returning viewers know that I am a member of the Quarterly Bag Club from Black Cat X Stitchery, and the summer quarter bag arrived sort of right after StitchCon, and it is sort of a kind of a Constitution themed bag with a very pretty star pattern inside. Her Quarterly Bag Club always comes with a button needle minder, a thread bed, and the bag. And if you have never ever purchased from Tiffany before, she does have a store on Etsy as well. And she is frequently included as a vendor at a lot of stitching retreats that I've attended. Her bags are amazing. I will love them. I will talk anyone's ear off about the quality of these bags. They're a perfect size, and they're a nice, whatever sort of heaviness of batting she uses, just makes for a nice sturdy bag, right? Like you can hold it up and it doesn't flop over. It's really nice. Really, really like her bags. So that arrived as well. And that's my stitching and my acquisitions. This is going to be a very short video, but I didn't want to wait until I had more content because it's already been almost a month, or actually it's been, I think, exactly a month since I posted my last video. So I wanted to at least come here and share what little I've been working on and, try to get back to my regular cadence. So that's all the stitching I have. If that's all you're interested in, you can move on to your next video or whatever you have next in your day. And thank you again for spending some time with me. If you want to learn a little bit more about what I've been up to, feel free to stick around. And actually, one other thing I want to share really quickly before you click off, those of you who are only interested in stitching. And I owe an apology to my friend Jade because I meant to mention this in my StitchCon recap video and just completely blanked on it. But my friend Jade, the 310 Stitcher, is hosting her own stitching retreat. It is in Canada. It is actually this coming August. So it's in a few weeks away. Let me pop over, see if I can pop over and share my screen here. So this is her retreat. It is called the Gathering Thread 2025. And it's going to be, what's really great about her retreat is it's not only for cross stitch, it's anyone who does a fiber art. So if you're a knitter, a crocheter, cross stitch, it's all about just crafting. Registration is open. There are going to be a variety of vendors there. You can see here, Tiny Modernist, Brennan Needle, Stitchy Toolbox. There's going to be quilting, knitwear, and she's really doing a focus on Canadian. Jade is Canadian. This retreat is taking place in Canada, and it is taking place August 22nd through the 24th in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. It is simply thegatheringthreadretreat.ca is the website. It's going to be a really, really great retreat. Jade sort of has a background professionally in planning large-scale events, so I know it's going to be really well planned, and it's going to be just sort of a low-key, chill. There's going to be massage therapists there, and just it's going to be a really, really great time. If that wasn't the weekend before my biggest work event of the year, I would have been going. But hopefully next year, hopefully she'll be able to she'll get the response that will allow her to continue to present this retreat. And maybe I'll be there next year. So, but I had told her that I would spread the word. And I know it's late notice, but especially those of you maybe who are in Canada or not too far from Ottawa in the United States might consider having a nice, fun retreat to go to. So again, that is thegatheringthreadretreat.ca. I will put the link in the description below. I hope that you will consider attending. All right, so now I am done talking about stitching. If you're interested in hearing a little bit more about sort of life, feel free to stick around. Otherwise, thank you again for clicking play and spending some time with me. Life. I sort of gave the really quick summary at the beginning of the video, but yes, I think literally the night I posted my last video, we left for my daughter's graduation trip, which was just under 2 weeks in Europe. We spent 5 days in the Netherlands, mostly in Amsterdam, and then 3 days in Brussels, Belgium, and 2 days in Paris, France. Paris was really sort of a last minute add-on to our trip because we realized that Notre Dame Cathedral was reopened to the public, and we decided to add a couple of days so that we could go down to Paris and see Notre Dame. When I visited Europe when I was in college, Notre Dame just made such a huge impression on me. It's just a stunning building, both in terms of architecture and the art and just the stained glass windows, and stunning. So when we learned it was reopened to the public, I really wanted to be able to have my children get to see that as well. So it was a really great trip. We had no major issues. My kids had a great time. It was my daughter's second time to Europe, but her first time to all of these cities. And as I mentioned, it was her high school graduation trip. She had been wanting to visit the Netherlands. She has sort of had this fascination with the Netherlands and the Dutch language since middle school. So it was really wonderful to be able to do that for her. It was my son's first trip out of the country ever. And even though as a 13-year-old boy, he was very much like, do I even have to go on this trip? He actually had a really great time too. So that was tons of fun. We got back just before the 4th of July. Actually, because of flight delays, we got home in the wee hours, like 2 a.m. on July 4th. Had a nice relaxing July 4th weekend at home, slept, unpacked, did laundry, all those things you do after vacation. And then we went into sort of full on grad party planning mode, and work is picking up. So my daughter had her graduation party this past weekend. We didn't do anything big or flashy because most of the money went to her grad trip, but we did have the family over in the afternoon, and then we had our friends over to the house in the evening, and it was beautiful weather. Earlier in the week it had been calling for thunderstorms, but by the time Saturday rolled around, it was mid 70s. It was sunny. It was breezy. It was just beautiful. And she had a great time. And in the end, that's all that matters. And we're getting ready to gear up for her college move-in. So we have 3 weekends, and then the 4th weekend is move-in weekend. So we have cleaning to do and shopping to do, and yeah, it'll be a good time. I'm excited. She is excited and nervous. It's a bit of a roller coaster. She goes back and forth, but that's to be expected. And but she has spoken several times to her roommate, and we're getting together. Her roommate lives about halfway between where we live and where the college is. So we're actually meeting up with her in a couple weeks to grab lunch, meet in person. They're going to go do some dorm shopping together, get like an area rug for their dorm, some curtains, things like that. And yeah, and then I'll only have the one kid at home, but it'll be soccer season, so we'll be busy with him with soccer and the start of school and all the things that August brings when you have school-aged children. But so most of my life lately has been consumed with work and with grad party and college dorm prep. So those of you who have sent a kid off to school, any tips, advice, happy to hear it, happy to receive it. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to share. So this is a really short and quick video today, but I was feeling inspired to hop on and share with you what I have been working on. I feel like I'm out of practice. I feel like this is a very rambly video, so thanks for listening, I guess. But no, I shouldn't say I guess. I do appreciate our time is precious. It's, one of the few things in life we can't get back. So thank you for choosing to spend some of your time with me, as always. So I will hopefully, like I said, be getting back to something pretty close to my regular monthly schedule here now. And hopefully we'll have more stitching to share with you in my next video. So I will close as I always do. Take care of yourself, hug your loved ones, and happy stitching. Thanks for spending some time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.